All right, this video is going to walk you through how to successfully rotate coordinates around the coordinate system when talking about types of transformations. The very first thing you have to understand about rotations is that which direction you're going. If you're going down and around this way, that's called clockwise. If you're going up and around this way, that's counterclockwise. So if it references one of the two directions, make sure you know which way you're going to start moving things. So in this first direction that you see, question number 1, you're going to notice that it's asking you to rotate this point A 90 degrees clockwise, which means you're going to go this direction. Now, if it ends up in this direction, what's going to happen is these two things. You switch the order and you match the quadrant sign. As I'm referring to quadrant signs, you're going to notice that the first quadrant is going to be plus plus, where the first coordinate's positive, the second number's positive. Quadrant number 2, this one over here, is going to go positive, negative. The one down here is negative, negative, and the sets of numbers that end up in the bottom right are going to go positive, negative. So this point is going to end up down here. So I know that when I locate this point, it's going to end up down here. But remember, you're switching the order and matching the quadrant signs, which are going to be positive, negative. So we're going to switch the order first, write that coordinate down. It's going to be at 2, 3. All you're doing is reversing this order like this. You're going to switch this way and this one over to this side. So you end up getting 2, 3. And then that coordinate at 2 over 3 down is right there. And then the last thing is pay attention to the quadrant signs. It's a positive, negative number. So that means I have to have positive 2 and negative 3. That is one way you can locate the rotation of a 90-degree type problem like this. Now, that is one way to do it. The other way to do it is to take your actual physical piece of paper and do the rotation like it says. If it says rotate 90 degrees clockwise, you can take your computer screen on the homework online questions, rotate your computer screen 90 degrees clockwise also, and say, where is this point? It's also going 2 over 3 down. And then you turn your paper back and do that same thing, 2 over 3 down, and put the coordinate on there also. So you can choose to do it one of two ways. Switch the order, match the quadrant sign, or rotate your paper and look at that dot as if it were this orientation like this, and it's 2 over 3 down. Pretty straightforward to do. Now the next one over here, in the lower one, you're going to notice this one right here is going to say rotate the coordinate point A counterclockwise. And as you rotate it counterclockwise, you're going to go this direction. And again, whenever you land one quadrant away from where you're starting from, you're going to do these two things. Switch the order, match the quadrant signs. So again, you're going to reverse this order, which then becomes 3, 2 again, like you just saw in the previous one. So go to 3, 2, and then you're going to match the signs. It's supposed to go negative, then positive. So if you go negative 3, positive 2, that is where your point A, the new coordinate, is going to end up. Notice it has an apostrophe next to it. We call that A prime. That now is the new coordinate for those. So whenever you're going to be doing any kind of rotations, whether they're going to be 90 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise, the ending result is one quadrant away, which has you switching the order and matching the quadrant signs. Okay? Now, you might also get some in your homework that asks you to do 270 rotations. Let's look at these next. A 270 rotation has you going 3 quadrants around. So if it says 270 degrees clockwise, that means you're going to go this way for one rotation. Then you're going to go, that's for 90 degrees. Then you keep going this way, that's 180 degrees. And then keep going, you'll end up in that quadrant at 270. Notice that where you're ending up in a quadrant that's only one away from where you start. When you do rotations and end up one quadrant away, again, reverse the order of the numbers and use the quadrant signs. So in this case right here, if I reverse that around, I'll have a 2 first and then a 3 next, and then it has the quadrant signs of negative, positive. So that means I'll have negative 2, positive 3. Homework questions will ask you to do that. And lastly, then if I were to graph the coordinate negative 2 and then 3, the dot ends up right here, and that's again where you put A prime. All right, that's a 270 clockwise. And lastly, just like the other one, if I have this one right here going counterclockwise, going around this way and ending up down here, again, you're ending up one quadrant away from where you started from. Reverse the order. If you reverse that order, you get 2, 3. So you get 2, 3. And then the quadrant signs are going to be positive, negative. So that means I have a positive 2 and a negative 3. So you're going 2 over 3 down. That's where your new A point is going to end up. When you have shapes that do that same kind of thing, that's how those all work. So no matter what kind of problem you're doing, whether it's 270 rotations or you're doing these 90-degree rotations, they all are going to do this idea of switching the order and matching the quadrant signs. Hopefully that part helps. Now, the last part is what do you do when you have a rotation that's 180 degrees? This is our last one to focus on. If you're going to do this right here, you could physically rotate your paper. Watch this. If I rotate my paper 180 degrees, so it's upside down, That coordinate right now is going to go 3 to the left and down 2. So if I write that coordinate down, 3 to the left and down 2, that'd be -3 and -2. Now, to end up in this exact same spot where you go 3 left, down 2 for your new location, you could also do this. Keep the order of the numbers, 3, 2, but switch both signs. So if I make that negative and that negative, again, you end up at the exact same location. This one's going to be here. So when doing rotations of 180, whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise this way, it doesn't matter because you're going to end up in this spot either way. Hopefully this video helps in getting you better at knowing rotations. Don't forget, here are the 3 things one last time. Clockwise goes up and around to the left. Clockwise goes down and around. If you're rotating 180, you're going to then just change this, keep the same numbers, but change the signs. If you have a type of 270 or 90-degree rotation that ends up 1 quadrant away from where you start from, whether it's here or here where it ends up, you're going to switch the order of the numbers and match the quadrant signs. That's it. Hopefully this video helps.